Every year, Fruit Logistica puts the spotlight on new and innovative technologies that have the power to make the fresh produce business grow. Agritech startup Mavuno Technologies is one of several innovative companies that will take part in Fruit Logistica's Startup Day on 10th of February. Mavuno uses satellite imagery and machine learning to boost yields and income for African smallholder farmers. I spoke to Mavuno's CEO and co-founder, Johannes Röhrenbach, about the power and potential of this new technology. Johannes, thanks very much for joining us. Please, let's start by finding out a bit about Mavuno Technologies. When did the company begin and what does it do?
Yeah, great pleasure to be here. Many thanks. Mavuno, we are doing this since March 2021, so almost 2 years. And we've started the startup as a team of 3 brothers. With quite complementary backgrounds, but this is our specialty, that we're actually brothers, so we know each other quite well. The story started with our technical co-founder Jakob from Berlin exploring the technology, so Earth observation technologies for the usage of agriculture, and we saw the enormous potential. We believe it's a technology that will revolutionize agriculture in the entire world in the upcoming decade. So we saw this potential, and at the same time we had our other brother Lucas in Tanzania, based there since now it's 8 years. By then it was more than 6 years. He's based in the heart of the Eastern African cashew nut production. There is thousands of cashew nut farmers all around him, and they all have the same problem. They have very low yields, like millions of other African smallholder farmers too, and that's because they have no access to financing and then also not to farm inputs, and that leads to diseases destroying their crops, their harvest. And this is how it started. So we saw this potential, we had this enormous problem, we had the technology for the solution, and then we started Mavuno.
I see. So there are some big challenges there that those farmers face, but it's the technology itself perhaps we should focus on first, just to understand what's going on. So in particular, you have the use of satellite imaging and so-called machine learning based on those images. What does that technology do? What does it provide?
Sure. So what we do, we take the satellite images from the Copernicus program of the European Space Agency. These are open source. We collect them from a cloud repository, and then we run our technology on that, which is machine learning. So we have several models in place that can detect specific crop types. So today we can see single cashew nut trees. Then we calculate the biomass of these trees and other parameters. And from there, we can predict the harvest yields and also the farm input demands of every farmer, because we have the geofence of the farm, so the farm area as part of the onboarding of the farmers. With this data, we basically know how much a farm can produce and also how much you need to get into a farm. So how much to get in and how much to get out. So we make these farmers investable. That's the core point. And what the farmers get from us are they get a financing in form of farm inputs that we bring to the fields. And these farm inputs in return, they fight the diseases and they double harvest yields of the farmers.
I see. So this technology is being used principally in Tanzania for these cashew nut growers. And what benefit does it bring them? What does it enable them to do that they couldn't do before?
Yeah, so without Mavuno, the farmers are very poor. They cannot afford any farm inputs to fight diseases, and in consequence, diseases destroy their yield and they have very, very low production. Our service offering to the farmers is a subscription, and part of the subscription is that they get these farm inputs, but the catch is they can pay later. They can first consume the services, double their yield, and then in the end of the year, when they have doubled their yield and doubled their income, they pay the fee. And that's also the benefit. So in the end of the day, the farmers have doubled income.
I see. So you give them the tools and the expertise in advance, and then you also help them with the payment and the credit that they need by providing a credit system for bulk purchase of crop protection inputs. Is that correct? How have you managed to create that system and put it into practice?
Yeah, so we provide the farmers with the financing. In order to do that, we need to score their creditworthiness. And we use the technology to do exactly that, because we digitize the farms, right? We know where the farms are, we know what they produce, thanks to our machine learning models, and we know how creditworthy a farmer is. And we store this data as a self-sovereign credit record on a decentralized lending protocol. And via this platform, external investors can then invest into these farmers. And this is how, we make them investable, and how we channel funding to the farmers that they then consume as part of our subscription.
I see. So you're making it more predictable in a way.
Yeah, exactly. If without us, there would not be any information about the farmers. This is also why nobody is giving them money. With our platform, investors know how much a farmer actually needs and how much they can get in return.
Understood. Now, one of the big challenges, I'm sure you know, Johannes, for producers and other stakeholders in lots of food businesses is cost, and especially cost inflation. Are you concerned that startups like your own, Mavuno, will find it more and more difficult to introduce these technologies when the appetite for new investment generally is under such huge pressure?
Fair point. So in our case, we see that rather as an opportunity, because we're not selling into customers who have these, who are buying technology from us, right? We're selling a service to customers who would not have money to afford the service anyway. So we create the value for our customers so they can afford our service. And this is independent on, so that the farmers have no money independent of the world market situation. So they don't have increased cost, they have no cost because they don't have any money. So we need to create this additional value in order to sell the service.
I see. Understood. Now, you're going to be exhibiting at Fruit Logistica in Berlin in February. Obviously, that opens up some potential opportunities for you to connect with people in the fresh produce business. When you think about the big world of fruit and vegetables, what do you see as the next potential steps for Mavuno Technologies?
Yeah, so of course we use events like the Fruit Logistica to meet people, also investors. As every startup, we are searching for investors backing us and accelerating our growth. From a strategic side, one important category of stakeholders we're seeking to meet is farm input producers and vendors. Because what we do is we build a new market in Africa. We make all these farmers a new customer segment for these kind of actors, so they can sell into this market via our platform. And we would like to use the Fruit Logistica to meet stakeholders in that area and start to discussing potential strategic opportunities.
Well, I'm sure the opportunity will be there, and we wish you every success connecting with people there, and indeed bringing this technology to new success in 2023. Johannes Röhrenbach, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
That's all for now from FruitNet's World of Fresh Ideas. Make sure you subscribe to the Fruit Logistica YouTube channel and check out any other episodes that you might have missed. And also head to fruitnet.com and subscribe to our free daily news email. And we look forward to seeing you in Berlin for Fruit Logistica.